Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Let's Max Warframe. Today we're going to be taking a look at another item released in Update 16. The new Grineer shotgun secondary and baby brother to the Kohmak. Now the Kohmak is much like its bigger brother the Kohm, in the way that it fires its ammo, insofar as, while it's firing and spooling up, the amount of ammunition that it fires increases as well as the pellet count as it spools up. Unfortunately, I've not been able to work out as yet how many pellets it does start off with and how many it gets when it's fully spooled. However, once I have, I will annotate this video to reflect this. Now it does start off with a base damage of 16, with the majority 9.6 coming in the form of slash damage and the rest 6.4 being split equally between impact and puncture. However, when you look at the stats, the weapon doesn't really seem to have any outstanding features at all. A tiny 5% critical chance with an average 200% multiplier, and a pretty average 10% status chance. Nothing much here makes the Kohmak stand out from the crowd. The accuracy of the weapon is pretty high when you think that it's actually a shotgun pistol designed to deal high damage up close, and it does come with one of the largest magazine sizes of any of the shotgun based pistols at 40 rounds, which isn't bad, although at full spool it's not going to take long to blow through that at all. However, one of the nicest features of this weapon is the fact that it comes with innate punch through, which does make the Kohmak very good in a crowd of enemies. The thing you need to remember when looking at the stats of the weapon is that although the initial damage of 16 is fairly low, the damage per shot increases with that spool up, making the weapon hit harder and harder as time goes on. And since from what I can tell, there is no damage fall off whatsoever, it can apply this damage even over distance, although the spread isn't going to do you any favours. Obviously the weapon does have downsides, and for sure it's not perfect. That initial low damage means that you're almost always going to need to charge it to get decent damage from it, which in turn means that the weapon absolutely blows through ammo like there's no tomorrow, making ammo mutation pretty much mandatory. The Kohmak also has some pretty hefty build requirements. The 2 detonite ejectors are not too bad. However, it needs 5,000 ferrite, 5,000 plastids, that's a lot of plastids, and a former, making this is a very expensive weapon to build. However, these are only minor faults really, and honestly, nowhere near enough to spoil the weapon. Okay, so let's move on to starting to mod the Kohmak. Now this doesn't come with any polarities as standard, however, we are going to add 6 former to the weapon. We're going to add 3 Vs and 3 dashes. Now, we have got a few mods that are going to remain the same between all 3 of our builds. We've got Hornet Strike for damage, Lethal Torrent for fire rate and multi-shot, Barrel Diffusion also for multi-shot, and Primed Pistol Mutation, which is going to help ease some of those ammo issues. Now for our Grineer build, we're going to go with a Radiation Magnetic build. So we're going to go with Pathogen rounds and Ice Storm to bring up the viral, and Ice Storm is also going to increase the magazine size of the weapon, which is a very nice thing to have. And then we're going to go Convulsion Heated Charge to bring up that radiation damage. Now for the Corpus, we're going to go Convulsion, Ice Storm and Deep Freeze, which is going to bring up max magnetic damage. And the Heated Charge is too good to pass up. So we're going to put that on there. You are going to lose a little bit of damage against the techs and their proto shields. However, it has no actual negative effects on any of the other Corpus enemies. So it is still worth having on there for that extra damage. And for the Void build, we're going to go with Corrosive and Heat, which is Pathogen rounds, Convulsion, Jolt, and Primed Heated Charge. And obviously if you're running the Corrosive Projection build, you could also put on the Deep Freeze and the Ice Storm mod in there to bring up the viral and heat damage that you can use very nicely when you've got the 4x Corrosive Projection aura build on there. So on to my thoughts, and is this weapon worth the cost and the time, the effort and performer to max it? And the answer is absolutely yes it is. The Kohmak is one of those weapons that if you look purely at the base damage and at the raw stats of the weapon, you could very easily dismiss it as mastery fodder. However, when you look deeper, you actually have a top-end secondary weapon here, one that I would say is easily one of the best in the game. The amount of damage this thing can pump out is actually pretty scary, especially when you take into account that the 2-second reload, plus how strong that prime damage mutation is. You can fire absolutely non-stop, constantly, for the entirety of the mission and never run out of ammo. The thing puts out so much damage that even at 50 minutes into a T4 survival, you are tearing through the lighter units with ease. Although it is going to take almost a full mag to take down the heavily armoured units, which when you think this is a slash-based shotgun secondary, it's not bad at all. Now, if you set the group up efficiently with corrosive projection auras, then the Kohmak can last even longer than that, even against the corrupted bombards and heavy gunners. The Kohmak immediately became my favourite secondary weapon, by a long way. As soon as I picked this up and started using it, I could see the potential and the damage output from it, and not only that, with an awesome reload animation, it looks awesome as well, and also sounds awesome. So with the Kohms having received some changes that have not really gone down so well, and people feel that are a nerf to it, does the Kohmak feel like it lives up to the old Kohms? And yes, it does. The Kohms might not be the absolute DPS beast it used to be, but that's not true of the Kohmak at all. It picks up the torch from the Kohms and holds it high. It really is a fantastic weapon, fun to use whilst you're looking fantastic, and delivers performance unlike any other. The Kohmak really is a top-end secondary, one of the best in the game, and more proof that you should never judge a book by its cover. As always guys, many thanks for the support. Please remember to leave a like and subscribe, it helps me out a ton, and I shall see you in the next episode.